Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Ghetto vlog. And guys, I've been very... I'm getting too old for all that spinning around. I've been very busy since you last saw me. I've been working around the clock really to get the celebrity video. I've not quite worked out the title yet. You guys hopefully have already seen it. A lot of work behind the scenes has gone into that. I've been badgering and pestering celebrities for weeks and weeks and weeks now. And I'm really happy with how the video's turned out. It's Wednesday now, full disclosure, so it's going live in a couple of hours, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Obviously, it's something different for the channel. If by any means you haven't already seen it, please go and check it out, because I'll say, yeah, a lot of work went into that, and I can't believe some of the people that we got to respond. You know, when you've got like Exhibit and Mankind and people like that, like you're messaging, it's like, is this real life, right? But yeah, all good. Really enjoyed doing it, and hopefully, I've got a bit of an idea for something similar going forwards that I'll be able to do. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do something along those lines in a few weeks' time. But as you've probably seen already, had a nice little charity shop find to start the week, similarly to last week. So let's take a look at that. So the woman basically pulled these games out. She goes, "Oh, you'll have already seen these. These are at the back of the shelf." I haven't already seen these. I don't know how long they've been sat there, but there was a little bundle. These were the three that were worth picking up. The Witcher Wild Hunt, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Nathan Drake Uncharted Collection. I was surprised at the value in this because this was given away free. I think during lockdown, it's like someone's been chewing on it. I think during lockdown they gave this away for free, but I think there's still £5 trading value on that. And Metro Exodus, which I recently picked up, I believe. Yeah, really nice sort of like steel tin and steel book edition. Apparently it's really good. It's just one of them games that obviously it's not a quick pick up and play kind of game, but I'm hoping to get to it at some point this year. It's my local charity shop. Like I say, whoever serves me tends to knock me some money off. How much I never know. These should have cost £6. She charged me £5. I think there's £13 trading on these. So yeah, can't really argue with that. Nice little charity shop find with which to start the week. This is the pile of stuff from last week. I haven't had a chance to even look at this. As I said, I've been so busy with Wednesday's video. But shortly on this video, I'm going to try and see what we can get done with this box. I'm sort of leaning 75% towards I'm keeping this, but I'll be able to make a better informed decision once I get this sort of... I'm going to clean it, iron it, put a new inner tray in it, put it in a box protector, see what I think. We also need to pick up a cartridge for this. And yeah, just all the other stuff that we got last week. Love this steelbook. Absolutely love this. So we need to get all this stuff put away. And we've got a couple of parcels, so we're going to open those shortly, and I'll outline the rest of the plans for this week's vlog. Also, it's time to tidy up. This is from the epic sort of unboxing, like openings that we had towards the back end of last week's vlog, so still need to get all that done. Somebody in the comments actually said I don't envy your recycling bin, and you're not wrong, trust me. Every week I'm in that bin. Does anyone else out there have to climb into their bin on a weekly basis to shove it down, or is that just me? Also, how could I forget? I've built my Lego castle. Night Lord's castle. I think it's Lego set 6079 or something like that. Really enjoyed building this. As I expected, man. The nostalgia just flowed back to me as I was building it. All the little intricate details, like you know, the fact that you can sort of pull this up and down, and there's little secret compartments, and there's all sorts going on that, you know, I was amazed by as a 10-year-old when I first built this, and little man really enjoyed building it with me as well. What I would say is I feel like I've exercised this part of my childhood nostalgia now, just by having it, building it, seeing it again, because I don't think there's going to be a home for it. You can actually split these down into 3 sections. There's the front, the back, and then the tower piece, and you can put it lengthways, which might be able to fit on a shelf, but this is how I had it as a child. Little man, like most 5-year-olds, when they see something like this, they want it themselves. So unless something comes along where I find a home for it, this might get boxed away and put away for him for Christmas. Like I say, I feel like I've got it out of my system. I really enjoyed revisiting this part of my youth, but I just don't know if it's going to have a forever home here in the 3.0. But yeah, man, let's go and open these packages. Right, okay then. So before I jump into these new additions, I just want to quickly talk about games that I've been playing. Obviously, I've been so busy, I've not really had much time to do game playing, but you know, who needs sleep, right? I've managed to fit a few hours in, and following on from last week's vlog, I've had a few more attempts at Twin Hawk. Really enjoying this. As I say, this was just a random schmuck that I decided to pick up off the shelves. It wasn't even part of the pile that I was supposed to be working through in terms of my immediate backlog. I think the next Mega Drive shooter on my list was supposed to be Truxton, but anyway, somehow Twin Hawk got involved. I'm really enjoying it. I'd say I've probably had 5 or 6 attempts now playing through this, and I can get to the end of the 7th level. There's 8, not the 4 that I thought there was on last week's vlog, where, yeah, I got caught out. But yeah, I'm confident I can beat this. I just need a couple more runs at it, but because it kind of runs right through, almost like one giant level, it's quite an undertaking. So every time you try it, you've got to set aside a couple of hours, right? It's not a short game by any means, but yeah, definitely one I'm really enjoying. I'm hoping I can just tweak my run a little bit, that I'll be able to get this completed in the next week or so. This will be game 11, and once I finish this, I want to start playing Drainus, which the good people at Strictly Limited sent me the special edition of. I'm really looking forward to playing that on the Switch, a very different kind of shooter. And I think going forwards, I'm always going to have one shmup or another on the go whilst playing something else. Speaking of that something else, the game that I've been putting a bit of time into in the evenings is Street Fighter 6, and I'm actually thinking about trading this back in. Not because it's a bad game, by any means, it's not. There's nothing wrong with this game as such. I don't know what it is. I think my brain has got some sort of blank with Street Fighter where I really want to be good at it. You guys know how much I love Street Fighter. I'm sitting here in a room full of figures and toys and standees and everything else. I don't know if I love the lore and the artwork and the thought of being good at it more so than the actual being good at it, because my brain just won't allow me to do what I want to do. With this, I think a lot of newcomers are playing it in modern mode, so it's like modern controls. It basically dumbs it down. You just press one button and it'll do your special move or whatever move that's assigned to that button. And I refuse to play it like that. I'm not allowing myself to play it like that. As someone that's played pretty much every Street Fighter growing up, my limited skill set I do have, I've learnt to do it what I would call the correct way. That's not being a gatekeeper. Like, I've got nothing against people that want to do it that way. It's just for me personally, I consider myself like to be a purist, even though I'm rubbish, if that makes any sense. I'd rather learn it the correct way, because there is a higher ceiling, right? If you can do it well, then apparently there's more options available to you. And I don't want to dedicate myself to a game to try and get good if there's a limit and I'm being limited by the control scheme that I'm using. I'd rather start from day one trying to use the original control scheme, but as a result, it's very slow processing the learning. There's what's called, I think it's World Tour mode, where you sort of like run around like an open sandbox, and it's enjoyable and it's really good. It's almost like a real fleshed out sort of learning experience for newcomers to the game. It makes you try different characters' moves and that kind of thing, but I don't know if I'll finish it. I've put a few hours into that, but I'd say the Street Fighter as a whole, you can play it whichever way you want to play it. You can just jump online, go hardcore, do you know what I mean? Do the old school things. But I feel like I don't know, it's almost aimed at a different generation now. I accept that I'm not like maybe the target market for things anymore, because I made my character, right? And then like the way the game progresses, I'm there doing like Fortnite dances and pulling all these silly faces, and it's like I'm just sitting here, it just don't resonate with me. I want Street Fighter, it's a fighter game. I want it to be badass, I want it to be hardcore, rugged, and it's not. It's like, you know, a guy sort of drinking drinks and going do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but it makes me cringe a little bit. As you probably just did watching me do the impression. It just doesn't resonate with me in that respect. But again, you don't have to play that mode, so it's no slight on the game. There's £31 trading on this currently, which is less than what the game owes me, because I got this as part of a bundle when I traded into Kirkby Sales and Exchange. I feel like I could pick it up down the line for significantly less. I'm not sitting on many vouchers at the moment. I'm going to give it tonight. I'm probably going to try and put a few hours into this tonight. I'm going to continue trying to learn the moves. I'm currently going through the sort of the combo lists. But yeah, I've never been blessed at Street Fighter. I'm okay, I'm functional. If somebody wanted to fight me, I'd be okay. I've got the basics down, but when it comes to combos, and there's so many layers when it comes to fighting games nowadays, there's so much to it. You can be as good as you want to be, and I don't have the time to commit myself to getting good. I just don't, and it doesn't come naturally, so it would take me a lot of time. I love the thought of being good at it. I always think when a new Street Fighter comes out, I'm going to commit myself to it, and then I don't. And I think it's my own downfall, because I think in life I'm the kind of person that believes I can be good at anything if I apply myself to it, right, within reason. if I apply myself and I put the effort in, I can become good. But with Street Fighter, it just ain't coming naturally, man. It ain't coming naturally, but not slandering the game at all. It's a good game. I just don't know if right now it's more important for me to have this than the £31 voucher it's currently offering, knowing that price is going to be deteriorating going forwards. But I'm not ruling it out just yet. I'm going to try and put a good few hours into this tonight, see how I get on, maybe go online, try and take some people on online, see how that goes. I'm not feeling optimistic. But yeah, Street Fighter is another game that I've been playing. So these are the two I've been playing. But let's open the parcels that are sitting here. So this is one that I thought would come at the back end of last week. This is going to come as a surprise to nobody that watched my last video games to invest in. And that is, on the Wii, Batman, the Brave and the Bold. This was one of them games I just couldn't believe I'd never heard of, right? When I'm looking at a 2D visual Batman game, the only Batman game that isn't a Lego game on the DS or the Wii, and it's a platformer. I'd never heard of it, and unsurprisingly, a lot of other people hadn't either. A lot of people in the comment section have reached out to me since saying the same thing. They've since ordered this. It completely passed them by as well. I don't know why. I've watched a couple of reviews on this, and people are saying it's good, but it takes some getting used to, because I think it is purely using the Wii motion controls, which is a shame that you can't just play it with like the Pro Controller in a basic way. But it's definitely one I'm excited about playing. I put this in the same category as Piccolo's Revenge on the Wii, a game that people didn't really have much knowledge of. A sort of 2D or 2.5D based game that is available on the Wii, which maybe people have been put off by using the motion controls, but they're two games that I really want to try out. I just need to play them both maybe back to back and sort of decide upon one to invest some time into. But yeah, I think I bought this on eBay. Given the new CEX £3 delivery charges, I took to eBay and I was able to get it cheaper via that method. So yeah, happy to be adding that. And this one, this is an absolute bargain, right? Let's get into it and then I'll tell you what it is and why I bought it. So, this is Fire Shark. So this was originally a 1989 arcade vertical shooter. Like Twin Hawk, this was developed by the legendary Toa Plan. It was then ported across to the Mega Drive in 1991, and again, similar to Twin Hawk, it's a military-themed shooter. But where it differs to Twin Hawk is you have 3 weapons. On Twin Hawk, you just kind of upgrade your 1 bullet. You just get more bullets coming out at any time. Whereas this one, you have like a wide shot, you have a flamethrower, and you have a laser. And you can also increase your speed. So I don't know if this is a bit more fleshed out than Twin Hawk. Definitely one I'm looking forward to. With me enjoying that game so much, I can only assume that I'm going to enjoy this one as well. This has become quite an expensive game. I think CX have got this for like £60 or more. Before I go too much into the price, let me show you the condition. So, the outer box is fine. Annoyingly, there's a sticker there. I'm going to really try and get over that because this was bought on eBay and I don't remember seeing that, which is a shame. It probably didn't have a picture of the side art, but we'll get into that in a minute. No manual and a tearing, which I was aware of, on the cartridge itself. So, the reason why I bought this game that's got no manual and a tear on the cartridge, and now also a sticker on the spine, which I'm really hoping I can get off because that will annoy me. This was £30 posted. I think the guy had it up for 40. I think over time he sent me a few offers and I rebuffed with a few counter offers. Anyway, eventually I got to where I wanted to be, £30 posted for a game that I think at CEX is be £65 posted, there or thereabouts. And it's similar on eBay, so I pretty much got this for half the price. I don't value this at 50% based on it not having a manual or having a slight tear on the cartridge. So I'm absolutely delighted to be able to pick up another 16-bit Mega Drive shooter for 30 quid, right? That's a lot more palatable for me than to pay 60. And yeah, please let me know in the comment section if this is one that you guys have played and how it compares to Twin Hawk. Don't think they're in any way, shape or form sequels of one another. I just think they're very similarly designed by the same developer in the same era. And if you look at the images on the back, it does look very similar in the way in which the game's set up, and it's also a military shooter, so there's obviously similarities. But it'd be interesting to pit the two against each other. But as soon as I'm finished with Twin Hawk, I'm going into Drainus. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to going from a sort of classic 16-bit to a modern shooter. And then eventually down the line, this will be getting some love as well. But yeah, man, so that's sort of what I've been playing. That's the new additions heading into this week. I'm now going to tidy up. We're going to tackle Kirby, see if we can get the SNES box looking nice. And yeah, man, let's get on with the vlog. Listening to the Pun CD we found last week in a charity shop, absolute fire, and that has got me through tidying the 3.0, so we're all clean again, good to go with another week. And this is where we're going to start. So this is the state of play right now. Kirby looking very disheveled, a couple of the tabs missing. Now obviously I'm not going to be able to bring them back, but I'm going to make this look as good as I can, just so I can make a better decision. Okay, this is where we are at now. So I have cleaned off the residue that was there. You can still see where the sticker was. I think it's a little bit sun faded generally. And I've been inside the house and ironed it. As you can see, it's a lot more rigid. I would like to point out as well, there's nothing inside this. There's no box protector to sort of pad this out a bit. This is now sitting a lot more box-like, I suppose, after ironing it. I filmed it on one of these vlogs before, but all I simply do is lay it out flat, put like a pillowcase or something on it, flick water on it, and then just iron it, and obviously just keep checking it to make sure you're not causing any damage. And yeah, it just gives it that rigidity back, gives it its shape back. What I'm going to do now then is find a new insert, get the game in, get the instructions in, and then we'll have a look and then we'll put a box protector on it. Shout out to International Cricket for donating the inner tray, and here is Kirby's Dream Course. It's now got a brand new inner tray. It's been given, of course, a box protector, which works wonders. And listen, I bought it with vouchers, so the fact it's got a manual and it's cleaned up okay-ish, I'm going to keep it. I wouldn't pay £60 cash for it. £60 cash is enough to get you like a half decent condition complete copy. If you look at eBay, that's about what it goes for a better condition one than this. But as I say, the fact I paid in vouchers, the fact it's not a game that regularly comes onto CEX, I can live with this going into the collection. Now it's been sort of put together, put in a box protector. It's going to look absolutely fine on display. And of course it's got to go into the Super Nintendo wall. And of course it's got to go next to Kirby's Ghost Trap, which incidentally could do with an eye in itself. And if you can see it on camera, but it's kind of wavy, that box. So next time we get the iron out of that one, we'll be needing to get an iron as well. So this has obviously got to go next to Kirby's Ghost Trap, as I say, but what are we going to sacrifice to get it in? These decisions are getting harder and harder. What's coming out? I don't know if we might have to drop an NBA Jam. Tournament Edition is probably the better version, right? But I mean, that one's just iconic. Normally where I have two versions of things, I like to keep them together, right? Like Raw and WrestleMania. But hard times, hard decisions. Right now, I think we're going to have to sacrifice NBA Jam Tournament Edition. What I'll do is I'll push all these down. Okay, and there we are. So that's Kirby in place. As I said, there's just one more Kirby now, I think the Fun Pack. And then that's all three Kirby games, because Kirby 3 didn't get a release in European territories, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm going to order a copy of Top Gear, but I'm not going to put this into the wall until it's got its cartridge in it. Right, the next job then is to clean up this dirty, nasty looking case and see if we can get this sticker off. Like I say, this wasn't showing on the eBay listing. For 30 quid I can't complain, but you know, it's the spines that are on display. I really want to be able to get this off. Okay, so I've taken it out of the case itself, and I really don't want to risk damaging it. Maybe it looks like someone's already tried it once upon a time. So I think I'm going to get the Mrs. Hairdryer on it, try and heat the glue up a bit before I attempt it. Interestingly as well on this side, be kind, please rewind. I mean, I'm not sure how you rewind a Mega Drive game, but interesting that it says that. I don't know if it came from a Blockbuster originally. Sadly guys, it's not going to happen. As you can see, even with like really taking my time and using the hairdryer, this isn't like a normal sticker. This is whichever rental company it was. It's like it's hard to show on camera, but it's almost, it's not metal, but it's thick, and it's sort of, it's difficult to explain, but it's not like a standard paper sticker. It's not the sort of thing that a bit of Mr. Sheen would help with or anything. It's very rigid, almost like a hard plastic. And yeah, as you've seen, it's just going to take the ink off with it. Very annoying, because as I say, like, that's what's on display, and now every time I look at my Mega Drive collection, I'm going to be seeing that. Ultimately, would I still bought it for 30 quid? Yes. But if I can pick one up down the line, sell this or trade this into CX, I probably will do now, because that's just going to annoy me sitting on the shelf like that. But it's either that or damage it all, and I think I'd rather leave the sticker than damage it. Wow, that looks ugly. Okay, let's get the rest of these put away. Good morning on what is a somewhat greyish day, but there's a lot to be cracking on with. So I want to be heading into my locals today. I've had a rumour that there's quite a lot of retro in my local CEX. Also got a few bits I want to trade in. I want to hit up the local charity shops. Also, there's a few jobs in here that I want to get done. So we're going to tackle things real early today and see if we can get some jobs done in the 3.0. This has been annoying me ever since I put these shelves in. So this shelf here needs utilising, right? We don't have enough real estate in here to be leaving these shelves empty. One of the things that I've currently got hidden out of sight is my largely hip-hop CD collection. It's currently sat behind my Mario All-Stars console down here. These are what I've been finding in charity shops. Sadly, CDs are slightly too big to go in there, right? So the same applies for PlayStation 1, because PS1 games could end up in here as well. What I'm going to do is go to a hardware store today. I've got a Wix and a B&Q to try. I'm going to take one of these shelves and I'm going to see if I can get them to cut me these, but just thinner. So I don't need the same thickness of the shelf. I could probably do half of that. Put that on here. And then, as a result of that, I'd be able to get PS1 or CDs in here. Maybe even Game Boy games that are currently on the top of that shelf could potentially sit along here. That would look pretty cool. But I think that's what I need to do. I need to get to a hardware store, get them to cut me some shelves, or maybe even cut these ones if they can. Not sure. And yeah, replace those so I can start utilising the top of these shelves. So we're going to go and crack on with that, and then there's a whole heap of other things that I want to be getting done as well. But let's go. Okay, so I'm in B&Q, and I think I've got it all figured out. So basically, what I couldn't do was get a thin enough white piece, because the ones that are pre-existing white only come in a certain thickness, and it's very similar to the shelf that I've already got, so it wouldn't be advantageous for me to use that because it wouldn't give me any additional height. But what I have been able to do is get just a plain piece of MDF, the thinnest one they do, which is £16, the 6mm one here. So I bought one of the existing shelves, and what the guy's going to do is the guy's going to cut me the shelves that I need now. Then all I'm going to do is just paint the edge when I get back, because I don't need to paint the whole thing. You're never going to see it. I'm just going to paint like probably the first inch and then the piece across the front after I've sanded it, and that should allow me then to utilise enough space above it to get PlayStation 1 games, CDs, whatever it may be that I decide to put in there. So yeah, he's currently cutting that now. I'm going to go and get some more trunking while I'm here, because there's still a couple of shelves that need the trunking hack doing to stop the games falling behind. I think Nintendo Switch is one of them that needs doing. And what I might do as well is on these shelves that I'm building, I'll need to run some on there as well to stop CDs or PlayStation games or whatever it may be being pushed backwards off the edge. So that's the plan. So as you can see, I've got the boards that I need. I didn't bother buying the trunking from B&Q because it was much more expensive than Wickes. There's a Wickes around the corner. We're going to fly there, get the trunk in that I need. So we should have everything then to do this project today. And then we're going to fly into CEX charity shops before we go and, yeah, hopefully figure these shelves out. It's every British person's favourite hobby right now to walk around shops and moan about prices, but the thinnest self-adhesive trunking that they do is now more expensive than the thickest self-adhesive trunking when I started this project, which wasn't that long ago. Okay, so that's the DIY shopping done. Let's go see if we can find some video games. In the 3.0, and I've just had this guy come through the door. So this is a Lego Gladiator. This is going to be part of the army that I'm building. Again, I'm going to put a plea out if anybody out there has any sort of Romans or gladiators or anything that might help with my army build, because it's proving a lot more expensive and a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be, hence why the progress is so slow. But I'd love to have sort of loads of these guys to create like a real army one day. But on to matters more pressing. And I've got what I need down here now to create my shelving. So as I say, these have been cut the same size as the existing white shelves, but as you can see by this one I've already installed, they are significantly thinner. And as you can see, it pretty much exactly allows me to get either a CD, a PlayStation 1 game, or maybe even my Game Boy games set up like this. So it's going to give me a lot of different options. What I'm going to do now is give them a quick sand and then a quick paint, so that obviously they're white. And yeah, then we can play around with different options and get this top shelf filled. So I've moved the operation outside. What I'm going to do firstly is just sand the edges a bit. Some of them are slightly too flush, they're kind of making them bow slightly, maybe a mil or two. This side is quite clean. I might just give it a light sand. Then I'm going to paint. I'm probably going to paint the top, paint the side, and then maybe an inch on the bottom. You're never going to see it, to be honest, anyway, the way this sits on the shelf. So yeah, hopefully this will get done before any rain comes. Okay, so that's the first coat done. They're all drying. I originally was going to paint the whole thing. I figured, well, just in case I decide to do something different, get rid of this drop. And just in case I decide to do something different with the shelving in future, but then I remembered I have all the original shelves, which ultimately look better than these anyway, so if I do decide to do something different, I've got all the original IKEA shelves for the unit, so these are purpose built to fill them with games or CDs or whatever it may be, so there's no need for me to paint the whole thing. I'm going to give it a second coat, particularly on the front edge that you're going to see, but yeah, until then, I'll let it dry. Whilst that's drying, I did a bit of work in the old 2.5 and I found these guys. These are amazing. These are like the mini standees, and they sort of span through the Mario years. I think, yeah, they start in 1985 and then they go up to, I think it's maybe Mario Galaxy 2. There might even be a couple more somewhere, but I do have them all. I bought a full set of them brand new in the original sort of Nintendo packaging, how it was sent to stores. I'd love to find somewhere to display these, but again, it's just finding the where. I also have these, look, these are from, I think these were sold in a Nintendo Power. I think these are from the GameCube Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. A couple of standees, again, it'd be nice to find a home for them. And I've got these shelf wobblers I forgot about. These Street Fighter 5 reuse shelf wobblers that, like, you know, say they just sit on a shelf like that. It's just so much cool stuff, right? But I don't know where it's all going. I need to sell quite a lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff in the 2.5 that sadly I might as well sell, because there's no point in me having it if there's no room for it, right? But yeah, I'd love to incorporate these somewhere. That's the second coat done. Whilst the second coat's drying, okay, so I've just put the shelves in and yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Actually, I'm pleasantly surprised. I actually think it looks better than I originally thought it would. These are such a flush fit that even if I took these Wii games out, they would stay there. I really had to like whack these in and almost like use my palm to get them where they are. If anything, I'd say this one here is slightly too big. There's a tiniest bit of bowing, look. But I can always sand that one down. I mean, I have got a spare that I made because of this, because if I decide to move these, I've got one to put across that section as well. But yeah, really happy with how that's turned out. And now we can get looking at other options as to what we can put in these gaps. See what looks the best. Okay, so I've been playing around with it and I've got it to where I'm happy with it. I think I'm better off turning these lights off actually because of the glare. Yeah, so as you can see, I've gone with OG Game Boy games. Really nice artwork, right? To have this artwork on display as you walk in the room. Really happy with how it's come together. As I say, they've just been empty shelves sitting there for a while, somewhat annoying me. The reason I went with Game Boy, number one, the artwork on display. Secondly, I had to sort of loosen the top of the shelves. Even with these much smaller shelves, I've had to loosen the unit, so push up a few millimeters to get Game Boy games in. If you start going with the spines and pushing things backwards, which I'd have to do with PlayStation 1, then the whole unit would get pushed up and you're in the territory then of it looking quite ugly and having quite a big gap here on the unit. So for now, I'm happy with this. I do intend to grow my Game Boy collection. It's not something I'm avidly doing, but yeah, one day down the line this will get switched up again, but that's the beauty of a games room. I think one day down the line I'd like to have this full of Switch games, top and bottom. I don't have anywhere near enough Switch games currently, but now I've got the smaller shelf, I think I could get 2 rows of Switch games in here, so maybe long term that's something I would look to do. But yeah, I think it's come together really well, and I've popped my link in there as well, just to fill the one gap that we have there. And yeah, so that leaves this open. I would like to get music CDs in. I don't know if I'll put CDs at the bottom or put PlayStation at the top. They're both quite bland, right? I don't want this to just be like a massive sort of black and boring box art on display. But what I've been thinking recently is about moving my Blue Spine Mega Drive games. So maybe getting the Blue Spines on display a little bit better here, and then sort of, you know, putting PS1 games or my music CD collection in and around those. But I'll figure it out. But for now, happy with how the project's turned out. Really happy with that. So I bought the full set of these mini arcades from HMV when they were on sale a while ago, and I've never really known what to do with them until now. It's got the perfect gap look on the edge of all the Game Boy games. So I put the Tetris one, Pac-Man, Galaga, Cubert, and there is actually another one, Frogger, which I've just put here with the PS2 game. So yeah, I've never really known what to do with them before, so I figured a nice way to fill the gaps. It's funny that just a couple of weeks ago, this wall was the wall I was least happy with in the game room. There was a big empty space here. This was sort of all empty up here, but yeah, I think we've definitely turned that negative into a positive. I'm really happy with how this wall's looking now. Ghetto. It's the next day, and this is one of many things that I really need to find a forever home for in here. I've kind of been looking at my shelves, knowing I need to make some changes. Like I said, with the move that we made yesterday, putting Game Boy up here with the new shelving, if I do end up implementing PlayStation 1 up here, it's all rather bland, it's all very dark, boring. So what I want to do really is highlight my Blue Spine Mega Drive games a bit more. So I'm probably going to switch GameCube for Mega Drive, get the nice Blue Spines put onto this shelf here, and then we're going to jig a few other things around, different options. So yeah, we're going to be switching these around first, and then maybe we'll tackle a couple more changes. But equally, I've got some more parcels I need to open. And this, I forgot to mention this. Well, I didn't forget to mention, I didn't find this. Last week when, I think it was Sam kindly sent me that Retro Gamer magazine, the subscriber cover that we're going to maybe put behind Master Chief on that wall there. The copy I was featured in of Retro Gamer, I might frame it and put it behind Chief. This was included in the envelope. I didn't see it until after the vlog had finished, so shout out to the Retro Ghetto, right? Maybe she should get a place in the 3.0, yeah? Put her front and centre. We'll stick her right here. Let's get these changes done. Okay, so that's Blue Spine Mega Drive games have been moved. They just look a lot nicer, right? It's nice to have a bit of colour to look at. However, let me give you a bit of advice. If you are going to take all your games off a shelf, do it individually. Don't be lazy. Don't think you can just squeeze them all together and pressure will be enough. Because this will happen. But before I deal with this mess and put them back into alphabetical order, I need to get the trunking done for the shelf that I'm going to be using, which is here. Let's do that. I think the sign of any good idea is when you think to yourself, why didn't I do that before? It just looks a lot better. And I've also found a home for the Paper Mario mini standee, which kind of makes sense with it being a GameCube game, right? Bowser chilling in the back, didn't quite have room for him. Yeah, man. Another positive change. Okay, so it's time to open these few packages that I've got to sit in here, and this first one is not really worth showing yet. This is another edition, hopefully, that's going to be my Lego army build that I'm going for. This was a Black Friday special. I think it's like a chariot rider. I'm putting images on the screen now. The box actually came slightly damaged, so I was already able to pull it out. I've assembled the minifigure, which is called a Chariot Rider, I believe. I think it's the only way you can get this minifigure. If it will focus on camera. No, but you'll be seeing on screen now that I've pretty much got all of the sort of Romans that are available now. There is also a Spartan, which I know is Greek, but I'm going to be somewhat flexible with my army build, right? But yeah, for the most part, I've got most of the figures. I just want them in mass quantities now. Like, I want like 100 Roman soldiers, right? So yeah, this was like one of the last individual figures that I wanted. And I'll have built the chariot, and I'll be showing you guys that on next week's vlog. So yeah, I'm excited to start slowly but surely building this army and finding like a free shelf within the 3.0. I want to build this army into a whole shelf. I want the whole shelf to be like a Lego war stroke army scene. I'm really looking forward to it, really enthused by it, right? But that's way down the line. I need a lot more pieces and a lot more figures before we get excited about that. Okay, so let's get into these parcels. I should go and grab my trusty knife. Knife acquired. Let's get into the first one. Now, these are both gifts, I believe, if they are what I think they are. Whoa, this is doing me well, isn't it? Look at that. Lindor chocolate. If this is a box full of Lindor chocolate, I'll take that. Let's see what we've actually got. Okay. Right, we've got a note. Hi Callum, aka Retro Ghetto, aka Don of the Ghetto Gang. Shout out to the Ghetto Gang. So this is from Dave, a member of the Ghetto Gang. I hope this parcel finds you well. Inside are a few items I no longer have use for. I'm focusing solely on my Nintendo Switch collection now. Me and Dave have had quite a few bits of communication about his Switch collection. I'm going to be doing an update on my Switch collection very soon. The enthusiasm and excitement for all things retro gaming is infectious. Keep your friends close, but your games closer. I like that. All the best, Dave. I love that. What a great note that is. So Dave actually messaged me and told me there was a couple of things that he wanted to give to me, and I already own them, so he said I could do them as a giveaway on the channel. So again, massive shout out to Dave, massive shout out. This is the kind of love that we like sharing at the Ghetto Gang, right? And wow, okay, so there's a couple of nice bits in here by the looks of it. So the first one is Resident Evil 6 Steelbook. I didn't know about this. I think I have this. Let's have a quick look. My 360 Steelbooks are out of reach right now, but I'm pretty sure I do have this. So these are going to be giveaways that we're going to do over the next few weeks and months. Stick around to the end of this video and I will be giving an item away on this vlog today. And, wow, okay, yeah, so he told me about this one. This is a really nice game. It's not a cheap game, it's not a common game. It's one that CX won't take, weirdly, it's not on their system. And that is Disney's action game featuring Hercules. I've never seen the platinum version of this, so I'm assuming it's quite a rare platinum. But this is a really good game. It's difficult. I mean, you guys know how much I love Hercules, so I'm somewhat biased. But it is a really fun game. Yeah, so this will be getting given away shortly. What else is in here? Copy of Grand Theft Auto 4. This says Skyward Sword on it. Skyward Sword HD. Yeah, so this is like a nice keyring look. I'm actually going to keep this for myself because I'm going to put this on the room key for here because I misplace it far too often. So yeah, nice one. I'll be putting that on the 3.0 door key. And wow, look at this last one. Okay, Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo, boxed complete. So we've got manual in here and the game. What an amazing thing for Dave to be donating to the channel as a giveaway for you good people watching. So yeah, keep it locked to the Retro Ghetto. I'll be doing a Super Nintendo full set update, and that'll be more than likely when I'll be giving away this nice box copy of Mortal Kombat. Massive shout out to Dave, what a great guy. Very, very generous of you. And hopefully one of you good people will be benefiting from these games over the next few weeks and episodes as we progress through the year. Okay, so on to the next one. So this is from a supporter of the channel, long-term supporter of the channel, Brad. Massive shout out to Brad. I'm just looking for my knife. I think there's one or two things in here that you've been messaging me about over the last few weeks that I know about, but he also said there's something else in here, and he told me to sort of handle the box cautiously. So I mean, I don't know what's in here. God only know. Anything could be in here, right? It's like Christmas. Let's have a look. This looks like a CX box. I recognise these boxes, right? Okay, let's see what we've got. Okay, let's see what we've got. Read me, lol. It says, hi dude, hope you enjoy the items. There's a few personal things in here I'm not going to read out. And then it says, thank you for reigniting my love with all things retro. I used some vouchers to snag you the prize. Keep it coming. Keep it retro. Brad, 1644. So that's Brad over on Instagram. A great supporter of the channel. I'll put his information on the screen now. He's massive into toys and video games. You'll be seeing the information now. So yeah, by all means, go and check out Brad's Instagram. Yeah, just a great guy all round. So I'm really intrigued now to see what he's bought. Right, okay. People know me well, there's a theme here, right? So there's Disney's Hercules. I'm pretty sure the little man's already got this. Obviously with the second one on the way, these kind of things are going to be invaluable, because if I'm reading a bedtime story, you best believe it's something like this, right? So yeah, nice one for that, Brad. This I was aware of. So this is the Need for Speed Carbon. He sort of messaged me and said, I'm sure you've already got this. I've got the game, I didn't have the nice sleeve cover that it comes in. I love getting sleeve covers on the PlayStation 2, you know, there's not that many of them now. So I really love adding these to my collection. This looks to be in really nice condition. It's almost got like a foil backed element to it. And if you look on the spine, it's not your standard white PS2 that you get. It's almost like that sort of, got like a glimmer to it, almost like a light grey silver effect. Really nice to be adding this to the collection. So yeah, it's really appreciated, Brett. Thank you very much, my friend. And now I'm massively intrigued because, as I say, he said in the note he used vouchers to get me this. I don't condone that, right? It's very kind of him to do that, but he didn't have to do that at all. And there's also there's also in here what looks like another little Hercules toy. Give that to little Manny, he'll enjoy that. I think we spoke about a Lego figure. I can't see the Lego figure in here, unless I've missed it. I'll have to make, oh, his ear look, yeah. So this is one of the gladiators that he messaged me about. He saw that I was going for my army build. This isn't complete, it's missing the helmet and I think the weapon, but things like this are going to be invaluable when it comes to building an army. I'll be able to piece together complete minifigures, and it's much appreciated, honestly. This building an army is going to take an army, honestly. So anybody that can help me, I'll take the help all day long, because it's very much going to be like a community effort, I think, to get this where I want it to be. So yeah, massive shout out to Brad. And now I'm really intrigued because, as I say, this has come in a CX box, it's wrapped. He said he's used vouchers to get this for me, and like I say, let's just open it. Like, I don't really know what to say right now. No way. Wow. Okay, this is Archer McLean's Super Drop Zone. I'm sort of piecing this together now in my mind as to what's happened. Honestly, like, I genuinely got goosebumps right now. This is such a kind thing to do that I'm always somewhat overwhelmed, like, when things like this happen, because it's not why I do these videos, right? I do these videos because I love doing it, and the fact people love watching it's great. But yeah, what a kind thing for Brad to have done. So basically, I think how this has come about, what I do on my socials, primarily on Patreon with the Ghetto Gang, but also on my Facebook and sometimes on Instagram as well, I've got so many saved alerts saved on my CX that sometimes I don't have enough vouchers to buy them, or I already have the game, or I just don't need to buy it right now. So when I get the alert, I sort of share it, make people aware of it, spread the love, and sort of say, look, I've just spent all my vouchers, but this has just come in stock. I'd rather, you know, a supporter of the channel get it than some random, right? So I always share it. And I shared one recently, and I said, this has just come in stock. Be quick, sort of thing. And I think in the messages something happened where somebody said something, and I sort of said, yeah, like, I've spent all the vouchers myself. It was on the back end of last week where you saw the pickups that I got. So I spent all my vouchers on Kirby. So I can only assume that Brad ordered this and then sent it to me. I mean, what a generous and kind thing to do. Like, honestly, Brad, it's very much appreciated. What a great, very kind thing to do. Like I said, I don't want to keep saying the same things over and over again. I just don't really know what to say right now. Brad, I'm going to hook you up, my friend. I'm definitely going to be hooking you up. Shout out to Brad. But yeah, Super Drop Zone. Arthur McLean Super Drop Zone. This is why I had it saved as a search. I didn't have it. And look at this condition. Really nice. It's got the flaps. It's complete. It's got the manual. I'm a little bit taken aback, so you'll have to bear with me a minute. I'm going to reach out to Brad as soon as we finish recording this. Yeah, I'll thank him privately. But yeah, just a very, very kind gesture. I'm a little bit blown away by that. And by Dave, right? And that's what it's all about. Ghetto Gang, the whole community that's supporting, and these kind acts are, you know, they go a long way, right? And this is going to in turn feed back to everybody that watches the channel, with me giving away amazing things like this box copy of Mortal Kombat. So yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. Before we get back into me moving the games around, I've got a few more things I want to do before we end this vlog.
I just want to take this time to give a massive thank you to everybody that watched and enjoyed Wednesday's video. It was something very different on the channel, the celebrity video. I'd really had a lot of positive feedback. I had people message and comment that aren't regulars, tell me how much they enjoyed it, which was fantastic. A lot of effort went into it. But if you look, but in terms of views, it hasn't done as well as other videos do, or as well as other Wednesday videos do. And you can never second guess YouTube. I've never tried to second guess the YouTube algorithm, right? I just try to make good content, and I think if you make good content, people will watch it generally, right? So I thought, okay, it's not done very well. So I started looking at the analytics of it, and I was very surprised that the click-through rate was actually quite high. It was sort of on the higher end of average. And for those that don't know, click-through rate is if my video shows up on your home screen, or when you go onto YouTube and you see my video, the click-through rate is the percentage of people that then decide to click on it, i.e. to watch it. So the click-through rate was on the above side of average, as I say, so that would suggest to me that it's not an issue with the content or the thumbnail or the title or anything like that, because people are clicking on it. So I'm no master of YouTube or the algorithm by any means, but I can only deduce from that that YouTube just haven't decided to promote it. And I think one of the reasons why is, I think because of the success that we have on these vlogs, the community that we've got, the people that enjoy watching these vlogs, because they're longer format. Let's say, for example, I get an average 35 minutes views on these vlogs. If I then put out an 8-minute video, even though it took me days and it's very highly edited, YouTube just sees it as 8 minutes and an hour, right, in terms of a Wednesday video and a vlog. And I think what's happened is YouTube are looking at it saying, right, well, that's only averaging 6 minutes of views. We're not going to push it. And I understand that. Obviously, I understand that YouTube just want people to watch, and they want people to watch for as long as possible. Ultimately, that's their main aim, because they want people to put adverts in. And I've heard rumours if you don't have videos over 10 minutes or whatever, you don't get as many adverts, all that kind of stuff, all these whispers you hear on the sort of around the campfire as to what YouTube wants or doesn't want. I just thought it was really interesting. So all I would like to say is, if you haven't watched it, please do so. So if you didn't see it on your newsfeed or your home page, I'll put the link in the description below. And I never really understood why people always push this on YouTube. I'd see people saying it all the time, and it never really bothered me. But I'm now going to ask you, if you can, to press the bell. So you know the alert bell that you get? So when you subscribe, you can also press an alert bell. That will help me out, because then when I put out videos that are probably shorter than YouTube want them to be, you'll see it. You'll know when it gets, you'll get a notification when I put it live. So there's no chance of sort of YouTube not putting it on your feed or not deciding to show it to you. And yeah, it just helps me keep doing different things and different projects, because I want to continue to test my creativity. I want to continue to try and push the boundaries of what we're doing here at the Retro Ghetto, and that's just the start of many ideas that I've got to hopefully come to fruition this year and going forward. So yeah, if you could press the bell button, and if you can watch the video if you haven't, it'd be much appreciated. And yeah, man, I'm sitting here like genuinely feeling very humbled right now with some of the gifts that I've just received. I'm going to message both these gentlemen now, and then we're going to crack on and get the rest of this room finished. Much appreciated.
Okay, so it's time to move PlayStation up to the top shelf. As you can see, these haven't had the trunking put in yet, so it's going to be a slightly bigger job than it normally would. We're going to line the trunking on all of these and get everything moved up. Done. And done. So that's all the PlayStation 1 games put in. All nice and secured using the trunking hack. Left now then is to put the music CDs in the bottom. I'm not going to do it now because half of them are in my car. They all need putting into alphabetical order. I need to find the discs, put them in the boxes. It's long. So we'll do that on next week's vlog. And talking of next week's vlog, so I recently spoke about one of the last big jobs that I want to get done in the 3.0 is this 360 kiosk. Had somebody reach out to me last week or so, been sort of in negotiations ever since, and I'm very excited to be announcing that on next week's vlog. We're going to get the ball rolling on modifying the 360 kiosk. I'm really excited about the plans. As I say, these people that have reached out to me are printers by trade. On next week's vlog, we're going to go to the printers, we're going to meet with them, and there's going to be a little bit more to it than that as well, which you guys will see on upcoming vlogs. But yeah, it's like a real passion project that I'm really excited about, and I'm very, very confident I've got the right people. Of course, they're viewers of the channel, they seem like great people. Not only are they going to be good at printing, obviously, but they're very, very keen retro video game enthusiasts, so they know exactly what I want, and yeah, it couldn't have worked out better. So again, it's just another example of the retro ghetto community at large, and yeah, all coming full circle. So that's going to be on next week's vlog. Equally, where the printers is a new area that I've never explored in terms of charity shops, CEXs, etc. So there'll be a whole raft of new hunting opportunities down there as well. That's probably going to wrap it up for this week's vlog. I am going to be giving away this copy of Resident Evil 6. So this is the steelbox, really nice condition. And if you want to win this, I'll be announcing the winner on next week's vlog. Just let me know in the comment section what your favourite moment from the Ghetto vlogs is thus far. The reason I asked that is that this is like the 30th vlog, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the milestone we've hit. That's crazy, right? That means we're in the 30th week of the year. I've not missed a week. I started this on the first day of January, I believe. And yeah, we've done every Sunday since. I'm sure this is the 30th one, if my maths are right. So let me know in the comment section what your favourite Ghetto vlogs moment thus far is. I'll pick a winner on next week's video, and yeah, I'll get this copy of Resident Evil 6 sent out to the winner. Before I go, once more, if you could possibly make sure you check out Wednesday's video if you haven't already, click that bell notification, and obviously it goes without saying, if you're not already subscribed, please do so. It massively helps support myself and the channel. If you want to go a step further, we're always accepting new members over at the Ghetto Gang. I'm going to be putting another exclusive video real soon over on Patreon, and I'm also going to be launching the Ghetto Gang t-shirts real soon as well. So yeah, lots of stuff going on all over the place. I'm a busy guy, but I'm absolutely loving it, and it's all down to you guys. A massive thank you for watching as always this far into the vlog. What a week we've had, right? We've got loads of stuff done in here. I'll see you all next week. Have a great Sunday. Take care of yourselves.
You're watching the Retro Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Ghetto!
Yeah.
Lock into the retro ghetto.